Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. What's Gucci? How are you guys all doing? I hope that you guys are all doing okay and having a beautiful day, night, wherever you guys may be in the world, and I hope that you guys are taking care of your energy as such. Today is going to be a little bit of more in-depth of what's going on astrologically wise. Today I'm kind of filming this when there's a little bit of a windstorm going on here in Washington State, and we have been experiencing a lot of windstorms as well as thunder and lightning. So I feel like a lot of change, a lot of transformation is happening right now for the journey, especially for the twin flame journey, okay, as you guys know. For people who do not know me and who are newcomers to the channel, welcome. Hi, welcome to the family, as well as those who've been rocking it with me since the beginning of this channel. Shout out to you guys. But I just want to make a warm welcome to any newcomers who subscribed to this channel, as well as a big thank you for anybody who has liked my videos as well, and as well as commented and showed some support. You know, those types of things, you know, mean a lot to me. I'm just really grateful right now for the newcomers who are coming through. Okay, so just a little shout out to you. I just want to make that clear, and thank you very much for all the support that you guys give me, as well as patience, okay, because you know I don't have a set posting schedule, so I kind of post whenever spirit wants me to. So it's kind of like I'm in I go with the flow of the universe, okay? So I try my best. All right, and this past week I did get my moon cycle. So guys, I've been dealing, if you know, any feminines out there know, like my moon cycle has been really hitting me and been really draining me. Also, it is Mercury retrograde for this week. I think starting on Tuesday. It started Tuesday. So, and then today is going to be a whole video for the Libra new moon as well. Okay, so woo, there's a lot to go over. Okay, so mind you, this is going to be an astrology energy update. I'm going to mention spirit animals that I've been receiving on this journey, and as well as what's going on up there in space. I'm going to mention some angel numbers, numerology I've been seeing, as well as symbolism and signs. And if you guys are interested in seeing the reading part of this energy update, because I like to channel first without any tools first and foremost, so that I can get a general idea of what's going on with the energy, and it also helps strengthen my gifts as well. But I feel like right now this wind energy that's coming through is really helping to clear out any old energy that may be around. Okay, so it's starting to like blow it out. And if you guys know the show Cardcaptor Sakura, she kind of uses cards in a similar way, fashion, but in a way it's kind of reminds me when she uses windy or rainy in order to clear out, you know, fiery like energy, right? Because I'll go a little bit more about that as far as that goes with the fire energy, but that's something we were dealing with for the beginning of October, okay, and as well as September. It is the new moon in Libra, so happy new moon in Libra. It's all about bringing new beginnings in. So if you have been seeing 111 energy, that's also a thing, as well as 7 energies, which is the 7th house, which is relationships with yourself as well as others. Also marriage and stuff like that. So a lot to do with that as far as like love life goes. And it's perfect timing for this love reading that I'm going to be doing. Now, Mercury retrograde, I believe, lasts all the way until November-ish, around the beginning of November, maybe November 3rd is when it fully ends and goes into its last shadow phase. So in the meantime, we are dealing with some communication issues, technological issues like technology. Okay, also going back in the past, revisiting the past. So a lot of past people, places, and things, as well as feelings, emotions, things that were unfinished business are now coming back to the surface in order to be addressed. And let me tell you that Mercury retrograde has already tested some of my nerves as far as that goes. So I know what that feels like. So oh my goodness, but you'll be okay. You'll make it through. And then towards the end of the month, on October 31st, which is Halloween, we'll be having the blue moon / hunter moon. More so, remember, we have 2 full moons within this month. One was in the beginning, October 1st, which I would refer to the hunter moon. And then towards the end of the month, October 31st, which is the blue moon. Okay, and that will be in the sign of Taurus. So a lot of Taurus energy, a lot of earth energy. Okay, and right now Venus, which is the divine feminine energy within us, is in the house of Virgo. So we're kind of feeling that earth-like energy If you guys don't know, Beyonce is also a Virgo, known fact. That type of energy, grounding, working on that Queen of Pentacles, you know, manifesting into the physical and everything. So grounding and finding footing and foundations, building foundations from the ground up is very important right now at this time. So divine feminines are kind of in that energy right now. And Mars, which is the divine masculine energy within us, and as well as on the journey for the divine masculines, are still in the house of Aries, which is in retrograde. And they're doing a lot of past life regression work within their life right now. And they're also assessing a lot of anger, pent-up resentment, control issues on the journey, etc. So mind you that we're both divine masculine, divine feminine, so you guys will flip-flop with energies. And so you possibly, if you're divine feminine, you can still feel the energy of your divine masculine. Say for instance, if they're going through anger or jealousy issues, or you divine feminine are going through the same thing, it kind of teeters-totters both. Okay, so you guys are like playing like a ping pong ball, okay, is what Spirit is showing me. And in other words, we would say that on the journey is called mirroring. So you guys are mirroring each other. So 1010 portal did close out on October 10th, and we'll be entering the 1111 portal in November. Okay, so for right now, we just closed off a really, really heavy cycle. So if you're feeling heavy, you're feeling tired, you're feeling sluggish, a little bit depressed, kind of going through that mental health like factor right now, since we're kind of, the Virgo is also a representation of mental health issues as well, because I did state that if you have Virgo qualities within your chart, sometimes the shadow aspects of Virgo can deal with depression. So a lot of depression like qualities, maybe mental health, anxiety, you know, those types of things are coming up right now to the surface. Saying PTSD or some form of PTSD or traumatic events that are coming up for the divine masculines to address and deal with as well, depending on the part of journey that they're on. Then the Scorpio season is happening on October 23rd. So yay, going into Scorpio. And then also, they want to mention just a little bit more. I'm going to go a little bit deeper when it comes to astrology. Now, normally I talk about tropical astrology, which is your tropical chart. I go by tropical. So I'm Aries sun, a Libra moon, and a Leo rising as far as tropical wise, right? Just for example, I'm just going to use my chart for example. Now, right now I'm getting into Vedic astrology, which is the other form of astrology, kind of like Eastern or versus Western type of astrology, but people say that Vedic is more accurate. Okay, so in Vedic, in my chart, I would be a Pisces sun, I am a Virgo moon, and a Cancer rising. So yeah, so that's why a lot of people, when they meet me, they're like, well, I feel like you have a lot of water qualities about you. And I do, it's just not in my tropical as much, but it's a shitload in my Vedic. So if you're interested, go ahead and check out your birth chart if possible, if you're interested, and look up the difference between tropical and Vedic, okay, just to get a little bit clearing about, because I feel like we have a total of three charts to ourselves, so it's impossible to be just one sign. So anytime I mention any astrology houses or signs, it doesn't mean it has to be within your chart. However, it could be depending on, you know, all three of those charts that you have, okay? Now, Spirit wants me to point right now about the Orion belt, okay, also about the seven stars of the Pleiades system, okay? So they want to mention that, especially if you're a Pleiades starseed, there's something to do with that as well as you come from the belt of Orion. Also, Orion, which is the 7 stars or the sisters, is also known as the hunter. It's another word, so it's part of Greek, a Greek translation, and we are having the hunter moon, okay? So there's something to do with maybe Sagittarius energy. I'm pulling right now for that energy. Okay, and then they want to point out how I always mention the North Star, how divine feminines, you represent the North Star that leads your masculine home, okay? Yes, North Star leads you home, but Spirit wants to mention that the North Star, the Polaris, or I don't know how to, Polaris, I'm going to say it like that, is also known as the little bear, okay? So they kind of refer to the North Star as the bear, and I did mention that if you guys have not seen my divine feminine to divine masculine love messages, note there is a spirit animal that I make mention about how for divine masculines, look out for the bears, because bears represent unconditional love, okay? So that the divine feminine is sending to the divine masculine collective. So something to do with the North Star, Polaris, the little bear. The divine masculines represent the Sirius star, which is the star that's right next to the North Star, not too far away. But if you guys know Harry Potter, you know, I guess Sirius, you know, Sirius Black. But it's also known as the dog star, okay? So it is also the brightest star compared to the North Star. So a lot of people think that the North Star is the brightest star in the system right now, but it's actually Sirius, okay? And Sirius, which is funny, in the Harry Potter series does turn into a black dog of some sort. And I did mention that there's a lot of wolf energy, a lot of wolves energy happening for the divine masculine. Okay, so the divine masculine has been coming in the form of wolves, foxes, bears, coyotes, any form of dogs. Okay, as a form of loyalty, okay, as a form of transformation. So you guys are both stars, and they want to make that very clear. So divine feminine's Polaris, North Star, divine masculine Sirius, dog star. So something to do with that in the Pleiades seven sisters, the seven stars that they want me to mention right now. The Orion belt kind of makes this symbol that I'm going to mention later on for my symbolism, which is the hourglass, okay? So I'm going to go a little bit more. I'm going to skip into the spirit animals right now. So I'm going to come back to that. So I've been seeing a lot of dolphins, which represents the divine feminine energy. And then I always state whales represent the divine masculine. Dolphins also come from the star Sirius, by the way. So again, the dog star. So dolphins are known as being very intelligent creatures and, you know, have their own language and dynamics of their own. So they're also known, for me, we call them like the birds of the sea. So if you've been receiving any signs of birds or whatnot, like crows, eagles, hawks, you know, swans, you know, the things like that on this journey. It can also represent needing to see from a higher perspective. Freedom, it represents as well like the divine masculine energy coming as a sign, or spirit coming as a sign in order to lead you into the right direction, 717. So I did receive another crow feather, by the way. If you guys haven't seen my previous videos, I've been receiving crow feathers as signs from spirit, as a synchronicity to let me know that I'm on the right path, as well as showing that the divine masculine energy is moving forward within their journey, okay? And also means that there's a messenger, like they're also dolphins and birds are known as the messengers for spirit, okay? And I don't know why, but they're saying Hermes. I don't know if you guys know the Greek god Hermes. I guess that's coming through for messenger spirit. I don't know why, but I don't work with, yeah, I don't really work with Hermes. So if you do, then that resonates. Also, the wind is going really nuts right now, right after I said that. Okay. Yeah, so something's coming through. Something's blowing through. Also, unicorns have been seen, as well as how majestic this journey is, how rare this journey is, and how precious it should be. Okay, so the unicorns is about, you know, your rarity as well, especially if you're a starseed or if you're someone that came here, like on this journey, you have some form of purpose on this journey that may not be similar to others. It just means that, it doesn't mean that you're weird or strange or anything. It just means that you were born here to be different. You were born here to create something new. Not everyone can just have access to you, okay? Especially with this journey, with the twin flame journey. We all know that other twin flames are really like the only other people that can really understand this journey, but anybody else outside of it can't, because it's not their journey. They're not meant to, okay? But that doesn't mean that, you know, it's bad or anything, or should be seen as bad, okay? So just be patient with yourself and folks, is what Spirit is saying. Okay, I've been seeing a lot of ducks, and so ducks represent definitely this journey for luck. I feel like ducks also represent, you know, possibly like language. Spirit is saying language barriers. So I don't know if you guys are like separate cultural backgrounds between you and your masculine or feminine. You guys probably have different cultural backgrounds that may be quite controversial, maybe, or it seems to be something that's a contributor to this. but I don't know why ducks have been a big sign for it. It could be a location thing where you see a lot of ducks. It could be a lake thing. It also is the swans, you know, which is the soulmate energy coming together. But yes, and then slugs I've been seeing as a form of basically like that slippery, creepy, crawly type of thing that's going on. It's about leaving your tracks, you're leaving your footsteps, because one thing we know about slugs and snails, in fact, is that they leave this residue or these tracks, you know, that's really beautiful. Okay, especially if you see them like right in the morning, the sun's rising and the sun reflects like against, like, you know, the residue that both the slugs leave. It's really beautiful. So I feel like maybe there's a path that you may not see with your two eyes, but if you look a little closely, like with your third eye, in a way, you'll probably be able to see, you know. Okay, so it's like that's a weird way of using it, but slugs, they're letting me know about how, yes, it may be going really slow, like this journey may be feeling like you're going slug status or snail status, but really it's pushing, it's still going. It doesn't mean just because it's going slow that it's not moving, it's still moving. And it's important to be very patient on this journey. Okay, and then cats, of course, dogs, you know, cats, feline energy, lions representing the divine feminine. Snakes have been representing the kundalini, so a lot of chakra activations happening for sure. Also sexual energy here and there a little bit, but I haven't been feeling it as much lately since Venus moved into the house of Virgo. When it was in the house of Leo, I was feeling a lot of sexual energy, but now it's in Virgo. I'm not feeling as much, but it is there. So definitely the kundalini rising. And spiders have been a big theme, especially for Halloween. Okay, it also represents weaving, you know, destiny, weaving, creating something, creation. It gives me a magician energy. So you are like creative, like the spider. Okay, you have the capabilities to weave the type of home or the web that you want. They said, by the way, some spiders don't weave webs, I heard a rain in my left ear. Some spiders don't weave webs, but they go out and hunt. So something to do with hunting. Same with wolves hunting, lions hunting, okay? Eagles hunting for prey. So something to do with hunting. The hunter moon is a big indication for what's going on right now. Now, numerology, angel numbers, go ahead and look these up if you feel guided to, if you've been seeing these, especially when I mention these. It doesn't take much, just type it in Google, like 111 angel number meaning, and it'll give you many different meanings, and then you can come up with your own conclusion yourself. So I've been saying 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, 616, 717, 707, 777, 808, 1111, 1212, 1221, 121, and 1717. Go ahead and check those out if you feel guided to for any of those numbers in particular. They've all been standing out for me, and if one has been showing up more than the other, then that's the direction you should go. Now, going into symbolism and signs, the hourglass that I was referring to with the Orion belt, which is the 7 brightest stars. I've been mentioning of, if you guys haven't seen my castle of sand video for the Aries full moon, this has everything to do with it. I was also talking about or using vampire night as a symbol for my endings, which is SUNA no OSHIRO, which is castle of sand or sand castles, and it's about, you know, the hourglass, like time running out or feeling like time is running out, when really that's an illusion because you can just flip the hourglass back over. Okay, but it's about something going all the way to the very end. This hourglass figure, something to do with time. Okay, we all know that time's an illusion, but the Orion belt is giving me that factor. Time is being construed or messed with, okay, is what Spirit is saying. So people are realizing that, you know, since time is so wonky right now, it's speeding up as well as slowing down. Spirit is saying the most important thing is staying in the present moment as much as possible, okay, no matter what, okay. It's during this time period right now, especially with grounding and everything, it's very important to practice mindfulness and stay in the present moment. But I'm going to mention, and I'm trying not to butcher the names of these 7 stars, but these stars have everything to do with a lot of the dreams and visions I've been having, as well as if you are a starseed and you kind of resonate with this. So the 7 stars that I wrote down were Rigel or Rigel. Oh my gosh. Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse, I don't know, Bellatrix, Scythe, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintanka. Oh my gosh, I probably butchered the hell out of these, but I will write them down, okay, just so people know. And what stands out to me out of all these are Bellatrix and Mintanka. Okay, so we all know that these are star constellations or whatnot, but Mintanka is also a place where before Atlantis, you know, became to the place that it was here on Earth, a lot of star beings and merfolk all incarnated from the planet of Mintanka, but the Mintanka planet was destroyed entirely. It's not inhabitable anymore. So a lot of people who are connected with Atlantis may remember time periods from the star system Mintanka. Okay, so something to do with that area, as well as Sirius, the Pleiades, you know, star system, as well as the Orion belt. Okay, all of that are just cohesive into one. So you may resonate both being a starseed or having past life memories to that. I did say that the divine masculines are going through past life regression work, so they could be, you know, connecting with that, okay, as well as their starseed family, getting connected with their soul family, okay, so other divine masculines, okay, coming into the mix to help for sure. Also, ascended masters and angels, angelic help are helping, as well as ancestors and passed on loved ones. They're saying hello, you know, they're coming through, saying that they're really helping with this journey for sure. So you guys are not alone. All right. There's a lot of assisted help. I've been seeing a lot of gold energy, especially the element gold. For sure, gold is my favorite out of all, but but I love silver and gold and many other types of metals. But when it comes to gold, there's something to do with that. It kind of reminds me of like at the end of a rainbow, there's a pot of gold type of thing. So, yeah. Also can represent abundance, fertility coming through towards you guys on this journey, financial abundance and prosperity, okay, and as well as balancing off on the financial part, okay, especially if you've been struggling with finances or whatnot, that will also start to balance out, because I've been seeing scales, which represents Libra season, and also Spirit is saying justice is being served. New Zealand has been a big place, I don't know, as far as a gridlock point that Spirit wants to make notice of. So something to do with New Zealand, and importance to that. So I'm going to do a little bit more research on why that area is, but I'm being called to New Zealand as a location. Also, spider lilies, which are really a beautiful flower. I really love spider lilies, and it is cohesive with the spiders synchronicities, and as well, if you've been seeing lily flowers, which represents death as well as transformation, it also is the flower of reconciliation, so there could be some form of reconciliation happening in the future. But spider lilies are a representation of forgiveness and letting go of any form of resentment or anger. So if you are going or dealing with a lot of anger, jealousy, envy, any of those emotions, like really shadowy emotions coming up to the surface, allow yourself to feel those and ask yourself why you're feeling those right now in the first place. What is triggering you, and what are you learning from those triggers? If it helps you out, Spirit says write it out. If you feel like you can't do it in your head and it's too much, writing out what it is that you're angry about, and then writing out and transmuting why you're feeling that way and what you can do possibly that you can, you know, help alleviate that emotion, because emotions definitely come and go, just like the ocean is what Spirit is saying. So emotions are like waves or tides. It comes and washes over you. You feel them. Sometimes you feel like you're drowning in them sometimes. But however, when you learn to release and let go, you tend to float and go into your given destination, okay? But the more that you fight the current, the more that you fight the ocean, the more that the more forceful it feels. So it's kind of similar to your emotion state, okay? So if your emotions are really heightening and feeling like you're about to pop off, kind of like an explosion-like way, because remind you that if you suppress your emotions, the more that it will explode later on in different ways or different forms that you may not want them to. So it's important that when the emotion does come up, feel it, ask yourself, don't ignore it, and then address it, and then let it go, because it's not yours to keep, okay? Just like the ocean is. Let it go back into itself so that it could come back out. So I just want to make that let you know, okay? So there might be, if you're crying and you're letting go and you're angry, you know, whatever it may be, even bursting out with tears or possibly projecting on accident, okay? Now, don't be so hard on yourself when you do, okay? It's a learning curve, but also learn from your mistakes and kind of learn and try to apply new coping mechanisms for the future, okay? So Spirit is letting you know, like, don't be so hard on yourself, okay? Let go, all right? Let go of being hard on yourself, of being so critical or self-critical. They've been wanting me to show a lot of vampires or vampire night as a way to show you that there may be some maybe energetic vampires that are around your space that you need to clear out, person, place, or thing. It can be even your own thoughts. You know, sometimes we can be our own worst enemy at the end of the day. And, you know, people always talk about energetic vampires, you know, around here, yes, you could be surrounded, especially if you're an empath, right? But however, sometimes we can be the ones draining our own energy at that. Okay, so sometimes it's about looking inward and kind of reassessing about if you're the one that's energetically pulling yourself down. Okay, so it's very important. But vampire can also, doesn't always mean bad. It can represent transformation or the awakening. Because, you know, in order to be a vampire, you have to die. So they're kind of like walking corpses in a weird way. But at the same time, vampires represent, you know, the awakening process, the ego death, needing to die first in order to see, in order to, you know, transition into the next phase. And death shouldn't be feared. It should be seen as a transition, as only the beginning and not the end. Okay, so vampires doesn't always have to be negative, okay? Because depending on the vampire, different vampires suck off on different things. There's vampires that suck off of negative, lower vibrational energy such as fear, and sometimes there's others that suck off of like positivity and everything like that because they don't have positivity in their life, okay? But there's also vampires that feed off of things that necessarily, kind of like a spider, you know, we need spiders. Even though I'm definitely afraid of spiders, okay? I don't like spiders, but I do acknowledge the fact that we do need them, because if you don't have them, then we won't be able to create balance, or to create balance within the animal kingdom when it comes to flies or any type of small insects that may be getting within your home. Spiders take care of those types of insects, okay? So it's kind of like similar to vampires. There's some that are there strictly to feed off of the little insects, or maybe lower vibrational energies that are not good for you, or that may be seen as a nuisance of some sort, okay? But it just depends on how you see it, okay? I don't really necessarily see things as bad or good. It's just how they are. Go by off of your intuition is what Spirit is saying. Okay, and then I've been receiving a lot of dreams, okay? A lot of dreams. And Neptune has been in retrograde for quite some time in the sign of Pisces, so there is a lot of weird, wonky dreams happening in the surface right now. So a lot of passed on loved ones are visiting me in my dreams to let me know and give me information, okay? Especially for the twin flame journey, about how it's important to open up the heart chakra, to open up to love and to allow love in, and to stop succumbing to fear or your fears. They've been letting me know about how I've been avoiding certain things, or not wanting to speak or avoid on certain things within my life. And also noting for, in general, that goes for people in general, like also for the Divine Masculine Collective, wanting to avoid communication, or Divine Feminines avoiding communication. It does not matter, okay? It could be avoiding responsibilities, or avoiding possibly the truth of the matter, or avoiding something, you know, healing process, whatever it may be. Because avoiding is not seen as something bad. It's just something like it's a coping mechanism that people use as a form to avoid taking any type of like accountability for certain things within their life, okay? So it's about that Pisces energy, releasing victim mentality, as well as victim ways of communication. If you guys haven't seen my Craftsman Triangle miscommunication, be assertive type of video, that is a great video to watch from my past, that I talk about ways that, you know, victim mentality can create within our communication styles. So Spirit is saying, like, we're learning how to get rid of that of some sort and taking back our power and taking back our proper power within ourselves, okay? Our confidence. Along those lines, I feel like it's a lot of positive beginnings. Also, there's a cell phone that keeps ringing in my dreams, and I do pick it up, and there is a divine masculine on the other end as far as voice wise. And it feels like the conversation, how it goes is how like we're gonna meet up somewhere. So it's a lot of the divine masculine collectives are wanting to come forward in different forms, whether in the spirit realm, in the astral realm, in the dream state, whether it's in the 3D, what is communication when it comes to whatever form it may be, online or in person. I feel like a lot of the divine masculine collective are wanting to reach out to the divine feminine collective right now, especially after a massive transformations that the divine masculines have been going through, because they have been really putting the work in and have been focusing on transforming and changing and bringing about that within their lives. So kudos to them, and kudos to the divine feminines, because a lot of the divine feminines are learning to take back their power, to focus back on self-love, to cater to themselves, to realize that that they've been really trying to find themselves at the end of the day, you know, coming home to themselves, because your twin is a representation of you. For me, how I believe is that you are your own twin flame, you are your own soulmate, but it is a bonus when you have a physical representation outside of you. So that's what I mean when I say that the divine feminines are realizing that they're whole and complete within themselves, and that they're their own hero at the end of the day. But at the same time, they're realizing and learning how to within their life as well, vice versa with the divine masculine, learning to bring emotions, learning to be balanced within their emotions, learning to express their emotions in a more healthy manner. Okay, so that's kind of more of the divine feminine energy coming into the mix for the divine masculines. And then for the divine feminines are learning to stand up in their place, stand their ground with their divine masculine energy, learning to take action towards their goals and their intuition and their dreams. Okay, so it's like you guys are learning to integrate. I see the yin and yang coming together into proper sacred union is what I'm feeling. And that doesn't, you guys are always in union, both spiritually and physically. It's just the 3D is just the illusion part right now. Getting past the 3D, not focusing on too much on to the 3D, but also balancing out and realizing that practicality and spirituality is very important. So I'm going to go ahead and end this off right here for the astrological update. I know that this is long, but I wanted to incorporate, this is part 1 of the series. So if you are interested, I'm going to put a part 2 for the divine masculine and divine feminine. I'm going to combine both of their readings together this time rather than doing it separate. If you guys are interested in watching separate love messages, go ahead and check out my previous readings as well. They'll be listed down in the description box below, as well as my link to my Instagram as such. Okay, so much love to you guys. If you guys want to follow me to the reading part, then kudos. If not, then I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Peace to you.